All righty. Oh, it's always every time these couple podcasts we've been doing, you have literally you set the standard for settings. And
Yeah.
I just feel as though I have to, next podcast, I'm just going to be out there on the river or something. Because
Just go outside and have a seat. You know?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're setting the standard for settings like these past couple podcasts. I got to step my game up.
It's fine. We're still growing.
We're still going. Anyways, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Dom and Gonz Sports Talk podcast. I'm Dom. That's Gonz. Gonz, how are you feeling today on this Sunday? Look like you're enjoying the breeze right now.
I'm feeling wonderful. I'm sitting out on my back deck, right over the nice little water canal, facing the beach. It's just can't get any better than this. And it's as we inch closer to the Raven season, just can't get any better.
Can't get any better than this, man. We're kind of the drought of for football season right now. I mean, obviously people are enjoying baseball and I get that, but we are definitely gearing up for football season. I know everybody's excited for their favorite teams to kick it off.
Go O's.
Go O's. Exactly. Go O's. Keep going because they're doing amazing this year, by the way. Let's give the O's credit where credit is due.
They have yet to lose a series. I think they have at least, won every series. I'm not sure. I have to check up on that.
They've been going off though. I know they're like top of their division or close to the top of the division. So they've been going off.
Tampa up there. Tampa's
up there. Okay, got you. But they're right there though. They've been competing, so we love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
We do. All right. So we told you guys that today was going to be a special episode. We are bringing on a long-dearing friend of ours who is also part of the flock. We're going to get him in here for you guys to bring him on in. We're going to welcome in our friend as soon as he joins in. Again, if you guys want to join in with us, don't be afraid to let us know. We'd love to talk with you guys, interact with you guys throughout the season, before the season. And there he is. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to introduce you to Jason Jones, a.k.a. Lights Out, the Jason Jones on Instagram. Jason, how you feeling today, man?
I haven't been lights out.
I know. It's been a while.
And yeah.
Well, I've known you for over a decade. Hey. It's been over a decade. You get used to some things. Okay.
Yeah. You've been through it all. I mean, even Gonz was there for the so. But
right. You know what I mean?
I'm okay, y'all. I am also feeling the lows. The drought of not having the NFL around. I remember looking on the sport counter. I think we're about 60, maybe 68 days out from kickoff. I think
we're not too far.
I remember last time I checked, it was like 76.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, so I listen. I am excited, and the Orioles are doing fantastic as well. We are second in the AL East. AL East, sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, they balling right now. You gotta give you're balling right now.
Shout out to the O's. I think we actually still have the second best record in all of MLB baseball, right behind Tampa, like you guys were saying earlier. I definitely have to step my game up. Yo, Eddie, Astro. But
what's going on?
Yeah. Nothing much, guys. Just living life, living the dream.
Living life. Aren't we all? So I know you've been
excited to have you on. So I'm sure you've heard a bunch of our conversations about the Ravens off-season moves, right?
Yeah.
So let's start back at the beginning. Let's flash back all the way back to March. Free agency had just begun. The Super Bowl's over, and the Ravens go out and they get themselves some wide receivers. What do you think of this philosophy change that the Ravens have been going through? Is this good?
Am I allowed to cuss on here?
We try to keep it good tone for the kids. For the kids.
Okay. I'm sorry. I had to ask just in case because you just never know. Anywho, I like the philosophy change. We're going from a run-heavy offensive scheme to being more pass-aggressive. I love that change. I think it gives Lamar the ability to really showcase his talents a little bit more fuller. And I had also heard through the grapevine that even in the old offensive scheme that we had, He didn't have the ability to do as many audibles as he wanted to, looking at the defensive schemes on the field. I like the acquisition of a veteran presence in Odell Beckham. And why I asked if I could cuss was because of Nelson Aguilar. I just can't help but think, out of all the wide receivers that hit free agency, and it's maybe because, Lamar really wanted OBJ, so we were already in contract conversation with him. But we go out and get Nelson Aguilar. He's going to have to really prove something to me. But to me, I feel like that's not even – I don't even think he's going to be on the field.
I'm sorry to cut you off. This is your reaction at the time of the signing?
Yes.
Am I – okay, all right, good.
I wanted to cuss. Dom knows.
I know.
Yep.
I heard it like literally after the Nelson. I was like, I knew where you wanted to go with that. I was like, oh my goodness, bro. But no, I had the same reaction. Like Nelson Aguilar, where we thought we really needed help. Like we go after Nelson Aguilar of like all people. And this isn't like shade to Nelson, but like you said, he's just gonna have to prove something to me because we got to see some production from receivers. It's been a long time coming for that, honestly.
Can I ask you the lineup of receivers, like who's wide receiver 1, who's 2, who's 3, and who's 4? Because we got depth. We finally have depth, but
as far as the lineup, I mean, like I think with Bateman. See, that's the thing, though. Is OBJ 1? Because I don't know how successful he can be as a 1. Like, and I'm not, again, no shade to him. But I feel like his best play has come from when he was a 2. Like, when he was with the Rams, like, next to Cooper. So.
Was he not a 1 in Cleveland, in New York?
He was wide receiver 1 with Eli.
Well, he tore up in New York. I think that you're asking me if you want my 2 cents. I think Odell is the for sure number 1. Bateman is just not enough proven. He just hasn't proved enough for me.
I agree with Gonzi. I don't think Bateman's wide receiver 1 right now. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's had fantastic when he was healthy.
Because I know Bateman, but just the injuries and the drops, just unproven.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know how the catches are gonna go because obviously as a veteran presence, OBJ is 1. You guys are right. I can't really dispute that, but I just want to see can he be that 1 that he was in New York? Like he's not as he's gotten older. Like does he still have that hop to him? Does he still have that? Like obviously we've seen it plenty of times, but he's coming off the ACL. It's not easy. Like that's not a simple bounce back injury now. Like obviously this is all until we see the evidence on the field. But I just feel as though so far from the injury perspective, his best play was from when he was 2, when he was second. Now obviously you're gonna have to balance those catches between Bateman, OBJ, Zay, Andrews likely obviously, but I don't know. I mean I guess. For now, you guys are right. OBJ is 1, no doubt about it. But
OBJ is also coming off of a season-ending injury.
Exactly. So, do we reel it in slowly? Obviously, he's having time. Him and Lamar are working on during the off season. So obviously, they're getting that work in, building that chemistry, which is great. But do we go? Do we take it easy the first couple? I mean, the first game is against the Texans, so I don't really know how easier it can get from there. Obviously, no shade to the Texans. Sorry, Texans.
Please not.
But yeah, I'm about to say, but at the end, you can't get any easier than Texans week 1. That's the best game.
Sleep on the Texans, man. They just drafted their future QB.
That is true. Shout out to CJ Stroud. I mean, I'm hoping that he has success in his career, but again, he has to prove he's NFL ready. You know what I mean? This ain't college. This the pros. You're going to get smacked a little bit different around here in those streets. So I mean, we'll see. But obviously, honestly, I think Odell is one, Bate two, three, obviously being probably Zay. You know, he could be another deep threat. And then four, I feel like you can kind of switch out between Duve and Aguilar. I mean, depending, I feel like Duve is more better in that special teams role. I mean, he's proven a lot
But
in that position. So
that D-Dove can also run routes pretty well, and he's shown the ability to have hands. He made a couple of clutch catches, especially in
yeah,
the
he made
first. Was it the Jets? The Jets we had
that
last
Jets week
season?
one. Yep, Jets week one.
That's the
Yeah.
week we also was it. Oh, we also lost Fuller that week. Is it Fuller coming back?
No, he only signed a 1 year. He
Oh
only
yeah.
signed that 1 year deal. Yeah. So like he was literally one and done after
One
the
game,
injury, which is
one game and done.
I felt so bad, bro. I felt so bad after the injury.
Hey, let me ask you this: what about our hidden rep in Laquan Treadwell or Tread?
Forgot about him.
I read something on
Laquan.
him that he is also a first-round pick
He
back
was.
for mid leave. So now that gives Baltimore 5 first-round pick wide receivers on the roster. I think this is a huge offseason for Devin Duvernay because he just could get lost. And it wouldn't be his fault entirely. It's just because the Ravens just have not given him enough opportunities. And our boy Nelson Aguilar, who we are annoyed at the beginning, is actually balling out in minicamp.
He has been balling in minicamp.
Pretty nice catch from Lamar, showing some good chemistry, especially that one where it was a beautiful pass down the sideline, right over the shoulder. Just excellent. We need to see more of those this year. So Duvernay, don't get buried in the competition because there's other guys here ready to play.
Yeah, they're ready to take that spot.
Is James Prochet ready to play?
What do you think about Treadwell?
You said James Prochet?
What do you think about
Treadwell? You're gonna have to forgive me. Remind me of who Treadwell is again. Sorry.
First round pick of the Vikings had promise at the beginning.
Yes. Sorry.
I believe he wore number 11 on the Vikings. Bigger body guy, can go up and get the ball. Bounced around the league a couple times. Went to some other teams. Seattle was one of them. I can't remember the other ones, but now here he is on the Ravens.
I think it's good acquisition. Once again, I just like having depth. And training camp or mini camp is definitely the perfect scenario to kind of finalize what we've already been talking about, those solidifying those spots.
Mm-hmm.
Who's wide receiver 1, 2, 3, 4, and vicariously 5, depending on the type of package you come out, offensive package you come out in. I think like I said, I like Treadwell. I like the acquisition. I think if I could just pivot really quickly, but also kind of stay on some of the topic, how we bounce back now that we have new strength and conditioning. Going to play largely as to the role that Treadwell will play now that he is here.
Dom says that all the time. The new strength and conditioning coach. But yeah,
new strength and conditioning. First of all, Eddie. That's hilarious. James Prochet needs to be off our roster expeditiously. That's hilarious to me. But
unless he wants to bounce back, this year.
No way he stays, in my opinion.
So how do you bounce back after that terrible pass you threw?
Yeah, he had a string of bad plays this season. Like I know Gonz cannot forget.
Drops, the Hail Mary. Oh my gosh, there's just too many guys now to take his spot. I know Aguilar is going to definitely have his spot, if not anyone else.
Yeah, I would say so. Like, I feel though my heart is too attached to some of these guys, so it's kind of hard to be like, yeah, he got to go. You know what I mean? And I kind of felt that way about. Obviously, we all felt that way about Calais when he left, because when we couldn't sign him back, that was like a hole in our hearts because he was so beloved in Baltimore. He still is to this day, honestly.
I think he wanted to retire here, actually.
I feel like he did. Like, I honestly feel like he did. Like, we loved him here. Like, but, Pro is just one of those guys who's like, bruh, if anything happens, this has to be the year where you're like, bro, I'm fighting for my spot right now. I got to show up and show out.
Oh yeah,
You know
no,
what I
because he
mean?
will be gone by next season if he does not.
Yeah.
Right. Realistically, because now it's
Yeah.
just like a waste of, I don't want to say money, but
I think his grave's already dug. I really do. There's just not enough time for him. He's had so many years. I believe. When was he drafted? In 2020 or 2021? I think it was 2020. I really think it was 2020.
Yeah.
I think he came in with
I think
Duvernay.
he was a COVID pick. Yeah.
He just has not shown enough. I don't even think he has a touchdown
Yeah.
yet.
He was he was drafted 2020. He was the 201st pick in the 2020 draft.
We just don't have time. I'm tired of waiting around for him. And then when he does get opportunities, it's just negative play after negative play. It's just not good enough. I'm sorry, Prochet. I wish you the best, but I just don't think Baltimore is the spot for you at this point.
Maybe not right now. Not with the
I mean, he could always go to like Tampa. You know, Brashad Perriman went to Tampa after he left us and balled out with Tom Brady. So I mean, they don't have Brady anymore. They have Baker Mayfield.
They got Baker,
and then they have.
Speaking of wide receivers, I'm sorry. I really want to talk
Not
about this with our guest.
Nation. Sorry.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, AG living, bro. Yeah, but Steelers Nation, bro.
Yeah,
we don't talk about the Steelers here.
Go watch your regular season picks. We got us sweeping you.
I will be picking up Kenny Pickett in fantasy.
He could be a sleeper. He could be a sleeper this year. What year? What year about? For fantasy? You don't know that, though.
You have Deontay Johnson.
Do you realize you're their offensive coordinator? They have Matt Canada. They are not scoring more than 20 points a game. Anyway, we will
Najee Harris.
I promise. I want to ask Jason about our highly debatable topic that we had back in April with the draft. Gonz's opinion on what's his name, Zay Flowers getting drafted by the Ravens. I wasn't very excited about it, as you know. Dom was. Dom was hoping we would pick a wide receiver. I was hoping we'd go defense. I was a little disappointed when I saw his height, 5'9", very small. Get that out of here. The real 8? No, stop. No. He an MVP? He is not.
Who's winning MVP? Who?
Did you say Kenny Pickett?
No, he said the real 8. I said you can't compare that to MVP. Lamar.
No, heck no.
Right.
He has not proven himself yet.
He's not
not proven himself yet.
Oh dear God.
Now
have mercy.
Okay, so now let me hear your thoughts on the Zay Flowers pick. And how he's doing in minicamp. Are you excited about this guy?
I think that I'm indifferent. Like, I'm more or less. I feel like the Ravens in the past, when it comes to our wide receivers who we've had success with, are physical wide receivers more so than elusive. Like, you got to think about like the Steve Smiths. Steve Smith Sr. was a deep threat. Don't get me wrong. He was a deep threat, but he was more so physical than he was elusive. The Anquan Boldens, the Torrey Smiths, the Mark Claytons, the Derek Masons, if y'all real Ravens fans, way back in the day.
Remember.
Physical, not elusive guys. Zay Flowers is an elusive approach. I feel like if you put him, Bateman, Beckham all on the field at the same time, Mark Andrews, right there. Zay Flowers is someone who's going to stretch the field because I don't think Odell Beckham has the consistency to do it like he did in the past. Zay Flowers is a speedy guy who's going to stretch the field, stretch the defenders out. And if he doesn't get the ball, then give it to Odell, give it to Bateman, give it to Andrews. Of course, give it to Andrews. So, I like it. I like the pickup. Does he ultimately fit our scheme? We will see. But I'm not even sure what the scheme is. The Ravens, they're in the kitchen cooking. So I'm not trying to go to one of those practices.
Yeah, I'm very optimistic about Zay. Like this, obviously, Gonz has a bad taste in his mouth from Hollywood, and receivers of the past who haven't.
So though, Hollywood was a big disappointment in my eyes. But go ahead.
right. I agree. I mean, like he didn't. I mean, he had flashes of being great. Obviously, it didn't turn out well. But at the end of the day, like, bro, Zay with the new scheme, like and I feel like Hollywood. This also goes back to Greg Roman, right? This also goes back to Roman and how he was utilizing the players. Because obviously, that's what a lot of players had a problem with. It was Roman's play calling. Like it wasn't there. Like it didn't work out for Hollywood. Roman was all about the run. Hollywood is obviously a deep threat down the field. Like he had his drops, of course. We all know Hollywood had his drops, but
We all know he
yeah,
has some.
we know he had his drops. But like he felt like he wasn't being utilized fully in the offense, and a lot of players felt that way. I mean, a lot of people have come out and said that they didn't fit in the offensive scheme.
Antonio Brown with the CTE.
But I mean, like, bro, like at the end of the day, like, how would Hollywood have fit in this scheme with Monken if he was still here? Like, do you think there would be a different outcome with that now that Roman's out and Monken's in? Do you think Hollywood would be more successful? This is another question. I mean, what do you guys think?
I really don't know because I'm still having issues finding his skill set. He's supposed to be this deep threat, yet whenever he goes deep, he tends to drop it or he'll give up on the ball, which is another annoying thing that he would do. The ball would be a couple yards in front of him. He'll just slow up like it's overthrown, way overthrown. Oh, whatever, next play. That is so aggravating. I was rewatching highlights from that Browns game in 2021 when we fought all the way back, got an onside kick, and needed a field goal to win. You remember this game? Anybody? Yeah. And first play after the
Wait, that was the game when Lamar Jackson had a stomach ache, right? And he went to go.
No. This
Okay, no. Okay.
Got the onside kick. All we need is 3 points. We've been scoring at will. First down and 10. Take a deep shot. Hollywood Brown, couple steps open, gives up. Don't even try. I'm all right. You know what? If the ball is not thrown right to him, he is not going to catch it. He just won't. I think the best catch I've ever seen him do was that diving catch in against the Broncos because he actually had to jump off his feet a little bit and do something. No. But I'm fed up with him.
I think the best catch I've ever seen Marquise Brown do.
And then you could say, oh, you could give it to him in space. Check it down on a screen. He runs out of bounds on contact. He does not like contact. He'll slide down or jump out of bounds. Or I just don't. I'm having issues trying to pinpoint exactly what Marquise Brown is as a wide receiver, because he just tends to not really want to be either that short route specialist or that deep route specialist. I mean, I guess if I had to pick one, he would be a deep route guy, but I don't feel like he's super reliable. Like you're gonna have guys like Tyreek Hill that are gonna give their all for those deep passes. You know, even if it's overthrown, they're gonna go deep. The only time they'll give up is if they see the ball going out of bounds. Or, you know what I mean? Or out of the end zone. But I don't know. He is such a tough guy to figure out. And I'm glad he got traded from us because one, he didn't want to be here. And two, I feel like he'd have a much better role in another squad. So I guess if to answer your question after all that, if he were here on the Todd Monken offense, I guess I'd have to say a tentative deep route guy. Like just throw it up and pray that he's going to catch it, and not in a good way, not in a Randy Moss type of way. And is he going to go find the ball and track the ball in the sunlight and catch it kind of prayer? So I don't know. I like the group of guys that we have now a lot better than when we had him, but I don't know. It's tough. What do you think?
I think the best catch that Marquise Brown had, to me personally, was that game against the Dolphins where we blew them out in Miami. I think that was Lamar Jackson's MVP year. I think that was Lamar Jackson's MVP year in 2019.
Yeah, 2019, yeah.
So I think, but he did all that, and he wasn't at 100% at that. So to me, when it comes to Marquise Brown, I feel like there isn't much of an excuse because I feel like Gonz said, he just gives up on some plays. Like he just does. I mean, he beat the entire Miami Dolphins defense deep, injured at that. If he was in the offensive scheme now, I mean, don't get me wrong. I can't talk today. Forgive me. Don't get me wrong. I like the rapport that him and Lamar Jackson had. I liked their dynamic. I felt like they had a really good relationship. And I felt bad when Marquise Brown left because I was like, dang. But you know, football is a business at the end of the day. And to me, I don't think he's making that much noise now that he's in Arizona either. But that could be more or less a Kyler Murray problem
Yeah,
than
because he can't stay on the field to save his life.
right. That could be more or less a Kyler Murray problem more than a Marquise Brown problem. I know D-Hop was having his issues with Kyler Murray as well. So, anywho,
The Cardinals is a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day.
I don't know. I like Zay Flowers a lot better than I like Marquise Brown.
Yeah.
And that made me jump in the gun a little early. I just feel like he'll do better. But like I said, I'm still indifferent to picking up Zay Flowers. I just have to see what he does when he finally gets on the field.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree.
I
I can't agree more with that. And I just think the way he plays, he's a physical guy as a small size, and that already makes me feel better about him than Brown. But again, it's a wait and see. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It really is a wait and see. What's going on, Will? And shout out to the guy who said something about my shirt. Officially swole. Appreciate that, Brody.
How you doing?
But at the end of the day,
Oh, that Jason. Sorry, my bad.
Hey, it's two Jasons on. It's two Jasons on.
Jason,
ignore me.
Jason two times.
I'm got.
Um,
Nice to meet you, man.
That's the one that was born with a 780 credit score, and I'm.
All right. Okay. So Jason, we got to know, right?
Let's go.
The agency is. I mean, obviously, there are still some free agents out there. There are still some trades out there that could possibly be made. Who do you? If there was somebody, now we got $11 million in cap. It's not like we can't make a move because we could if we wanted to. We got a little bit of space. If you had to think, either if we pick up somebody free agency or we trade for something, what do you think the Ravens need to solidify this roster that we have compiled so far?
I'm not too confident in Rocky Sin. I don't know.
Okay.
That's at corner. I think that'll probably be our weakness because Kyle Hamilton is coming into his own, slowly. Not even slowly. He's coming into his own quite fast. He developed over a couple games, actually, last season. So I'm happy to see what the future holds for Kyle Hamilton. And, of course, we have Marcus Williams over top who balled out the first couple games of the season before he got injured. Hopefully he comes back and does the same thing and on a more consistent basis. But def at corner, I'm not so confident, and that's why I was kind of sad to see Marcus Peters go. But anytime we get blown up by the Jaguars offense and Trevor Lawrence, all right.
Oh my
God, I love Marcus Peters. Don't get me wrong, and we all have our bad days. Like, I'm not knocking him. Like, I think he's still a wonderful cornerback. But I felt like Marcus Peters gave up a lot last season. And it's more or less like instead of playing defense, he complained a lot more. Like I said, I love Marcus Peters. Don't get me wrong. But I'm glad we decided to go with Rocketson, but I don't know. Because he was previously with Las Vegas, the Raiders, right?
The Raiders, yeah.
He was their top corner, though.
He was a lockdown corner, but he was with them, though. So, I mean, he could still prove to be something. The thing about Rocky Sin, the reason why I wanted, and I feel you on that when it comes to Peter, because Gonzi knows for a fact, we talked about this before, like I was highly upset to see that we probably aren't going to re-sign Peters again. I feel as though Peters brought that swag. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like, exactly. Like, he wasn't that guy, like you said, plays happened. He gave up a good amount of Jaguars. Jeez.
The Jaguars.
But when it came to like, don't mess with us, you know what I mean? Like, he brought that demeanor with him to the field, whereas like he was that guy who said, bro, don't mess with us because we gonna bring the smoke. You know what I mean? Like, he was just that guy on the sidelines. He was on the field. He literally led. I remember the Titans game. Beat them in the playoffs. He's the one who led them out there to the middle of the field and started dancing on the Titans in the middle of the Titans field when we got that win. Like he's that guy who was just like, bro, we're gonna get at you and we're gonna go at you, and I'm the one who's gonna lead us to do it. I just don't know now who's gonna be that guy. Who's gonna be that guy now? Because I mean, Roquan is obviously the leader of the defense now. Like that's already been said multiple occasions. But he's such a peaceful guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's not like he's a peaceful guy. He really just out there to play. He's a great linebacker, like definitely top 3 linebackers in the league. But like he's a peaceful guy. You know what I mean? He don't really like that all that. I don't really think about that trash talk and stuff.
He's fun loving.
Exactly.
He's like all pro Marlo. All pro Marlo's fun loving. Like he's a fun loving guy.
All love of the game. Exactly. Love of the game. So for me, it's like I don't know who's gonna bring that now that Peters is gone. You know what I mean? Like who's gonna bring that factor out there on the field? Because I love that about Peters. I love that he brought that every single game. But now it's just that's why I wanted him back. But yeah, I think Rocket Sin is good. Like I think he's gonna be a good addition.
Though, Dom, that swagger wasn't nearly as present in 2022 than it was in
2021. Yeah.
I will agree.
I think he knows he lost a step too, because he's not the youngest guy in the world, and that was a really bad injury. He was out for over a year. Yeah. He did not make his debut until week 3 of 2022, and he was hurt in August.
Yeah.
So it's 13 months to come back. That extra month, after August. I don't think he made it back for training camp. I really don't. I don't remember. But I really think that he is not the same player anymore. And I think the opposite
frustration shows too.
Yeah, and
he
is. And it showed in the Bills game too. Remember, he was yelling at John Harbaugh, or well, that could have been for other reasons. Let me not bring that up. That could have been for not kicking field goals when they needed to, but let's not argue about that. I don't get. We're having a nice June as we await camp. Let's not dwell and sulk in old Ravens frustrations. I am actually optimistic about Rock Ya-Sin as compared to Jason, our guest. I think that this guy could really be good. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be a cornerstone or like a dominant player, but does he have to be that dominant player? I mean, does he?
He has a defense to support him.
Right.
So, not necessarily.
Yeah.
Marlon Humphrey can continue his play from last year, back to being all-pro Marlo like we know and love after struggling in 2021. Then as long as he is not a liability, being beat by Zay Jones, which we will have a chance to redeem ourselves this year on Sunday Night Football, who says to say that this team can't go somewhere on defense, improve? Because, again, it's not just the secondary, it's the pass rush as well. So, again, if he could just hold his ground, knock the ball down, he's a tough, clingy corner. He can play tight man. I watched the highlights of him on some of those Cardinals wide receivers like D-Hop last year and A.J. Green, and he sticks to them. Like, he makes it tough for these guys to catch the ball.
Did you just say A.J. Green?
Yeah. Remember?
The forbidden name.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I don't mind him anymore since he's not on the Bengals. He's kind of cooled off, you know what I mean? But I think that he can be that guy to just be that second hand to Marlon Humphrey on the outside. Play tough, play aggressive. If you're going to give up a catch to a wide out, make sure they earn it. Don't give up. Don't make it wide open. If they have to make a nice catch with you on their back or something, that's better than nothing, right? So basically what I'm saying is if we can improve the pass rush and he doesn't be a liability, then he can't say he can't have a good season. And he's still about, 26 or 7?
Yeah, he's only like 26, so he's not that old. I mean,
definitely better than Peter.
Do me a favor, both of you. I know the original question was free agency. I need a running list of the free agents that are available. I know we don't need any more running backs. I know Dalvin Cook, Ezekiel Elliott, and then there's somebody else who's also free agency at the moment.
Outside linebackers, we've got, I believe we've got Justin Houston still out there.
You want to re-sign Justin Houston, have that veteran presence?
I wouldn't be opposed to it. That's another thing we talked
about. He had a good season. He had a good season.
According to the NFL, these are the top free agents that are still remaining. Okay, obviously at number one, DeAndre Hopkins, who has yet to sign a contract. Number two, Yannick Ngakoue, who's also yet
Do not
to
get
sign a
not
contract.
get him. It did not work out last time. Why would it work out?
Number three, Dalvin Cook, who is speculated to probably be in the AFC East because that's where he's getting that. That's a lot of speculation.
Oh,
Number four,
he wants to go with his brother.
number four, Davion Clowney, who is also still a free agent. Peters, Melvin Ingram, Callahan, Justin Houston. So those are just some to name off. So it's a good amount of defense still left out there in free agency as far as top guys. Obviously, the best guy available will probably be between D-Hop and probably Dalvin, if I can give offensively anyway.
I don't need Dalvin Cook because we have J.K.
We have
Gus Edwards, we have Justice Hill.
Fine Cook, that would definitely be J.K. on his way out.
Yeah,
because that would be the last.
If there's any pursuit of Cook, that's J.K.'s. That means J.K.'s probably not coming back, which is a sad reality because I feel like we should have him back.
But it's not going to happen. I think J.K.'s good to go this year. He's going to ball out. Cook, go play.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe I would have loved to see D-Hop before Odell. I feel like he has that demeanor that Don was alluding to earlier, that swagger. Like, when people don't understand, when it comes to the game of football, it's half physical and half mental. The moment you get into your opponent's mind, and that's what Marcus Peters did. Like, he wasn't the strongest guy on the field, but he just talked a whole bunch of trash, and it got under a lot of people's skin. And I said, they fumbling, D-Hop has that dog mentality the same as Marcus Peters had, which is why, and we have a dog mentality culture here in Baltimore, and have always had that mentality. D-Hop would be an excellent addition to that mentality. I think he's a little healthier than Odell. He has. I was gonna say he might have better hands than Odell, but there's nothing taken away from reach back like one. I'm sorry, but at the same time, D-Hop caught it in quadruple coverage in overtime.
He did to walk literally to walk him off the field. Can't argue with that.
Hands are arguably around the same. I just feel like we don't. Granted, it's $11 million. That's a lot to play with, but I feel like we don't go into cap hell. I will never. I swear to God. I feel like we're okay with what we have. Now we're just being greedy. Listen. Now we're just pulling the Lavoy on 2K. To the people that are coming into the live, y'all don't understand that reference, but trust and believe, everybody else here does. So,
I would like to see another pass rusher. I agree. Gonzi this. Yeah, I've told Gonzi this already. I would like to see more pass rush. That Joe Burrow stuff, and Gonzi, I know I keep bringing up PTSD, but that Joe Burrow stuff, man, when he was dancing in the pocket, this man was, he was ducking and dodging our D-line. I'm like, bro, no. Pass rush is so important this year. It's not even up for debate.
We might have been last in the league in terms of sacks last year.
We have struggled to get to the quarterback. We have not been able to do that. Shout out to Justin Houston. He balled out last year when it came to getting to the quarterback. Shout out to Justin Houston for that. But
I would bring Justin Houston back.
If it was for a veteran presence, I would definitely bring him back. But I need Owe and Ojabo. And I told Gonzi this. Yes, we need Owe and Ojabo to go crazy this year.
Eddie.
Let loose. Just let loose, bro. Be who you guys are. This is a big year for Owe.
And you guys are young. You guys are young.
Literally, this is let loose, bro. This is a huge year for Odafe Owe. He has to show up this year. because he hasn't shown up these past couple of years. Like he's been lacking.
Yeah, this is the
So
benefit of the doubt year. Like,
yes,
we're
like
giving
bro,
you the benefit of the doubt now,
literally,
please.
literally, like bro, this is your moment. Like you're next to your best friend. You're next to Ojabo. Both of y'all just get at him, bro. Like this is his year. Like we need. I'm not saying you need double-digit sacks, but we need at least 8 this year. I'm calling for it. I'm calling for it. No,
Too many
Dafe
QBs
Owe
had
8
too much
sack year
time.
this year. Yes,
They had
way too much time, and that's how we've given up those huge plays. Like we have to help the secondary. That's going back to what Gonzi said earlier. We have got to help the secondary out.
Yeah.
Like we have to get to the QB. If we don't do that, it's not gonna be successful, and we're gonna give up those big plays. We're gonna give up those leads that we gave up last year, and we can't do that. We can't do that.
That would separate our defense from being a very good defense, because I would say our defense is very good at the end of last year. That separates it from being a dominant defense. If we could get that pass rush without sending the house like we do, like you said, we were last in the league. We got a lot of sacks last year, Jason. We really did, but it wasn't how you think. It was covered.
It just didn't show up. Right. It didn't show up on the board.
Or those crazy, matted mid-blitz cover zeros where screaming off as a cornerback or a DB, a.k.a. Kyle Hamilton. So, yeah, if we can get to the quarterback with 4 people or even 5 occasionally, consistently or more consistently, like maybe once every 4 plays, pressuring the quarterback, make him feel uneasy.
25% of the time.
Yeah, it would really make our defense so much better, and the secondary would feast off overthrows or underthrows on timing patterns, because we just can't give these people so many times. So like I'm sorry, and I know this might be controversial. Tua Tagovailoa throwing 6 touchdowns on your defense, I don't care what wide receivers you have, is unacceptable. I don't care. I'm sorry. Tua Tagovailoa is not that great. I'm saying it. I know it's controversial. He isn't. At least at the time, he wasn't, because it was week 2, coming off a subpar year, injury-riddled year in 2021, and he comes out and he does that on our defense at the bank.
And we were up.
We were up
3 scores
by a lot.
No, like that was literally Tua's little breakout game to where everybody was like, "Wow, Dolphins Super Bowl contenders or Tua MVP." No, he's not that great. I'm sorry, and I know he's dealt with injuries. That's why I said get ready for this. Please don't bash me in the comments section. I just don't think he's that good. I really don't. And 6 touchdown passes is unacceptable for a guy that's not that good. But that just underlines the whole fact it don't matter who the quarterback is. If you give him all day long, he's going to pick you apart. I don't care who it is. It could be a junior varsity high school player.
It could be Jacoby Brissett.
It doesn't matter, bro.
Especially, it just overemphasized the fact that it was Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill rerouting themselves to wide open plays while he just stands back and does nothing.
Just waits, literally.
And that's why Desmond Ridder, another example. No pressure. We sacked him 2 times on the first drive. No more pressure the entire rest of the game on Christmas Eve. And because a young quarterback, there is nothing more dangerous than a young rookie quarterback feeling confident in the pocket, because that makes him feel like he could be a dominant player in this league. If he's a rookie feeling like that, you can't do that.
And that's why we have to set the tone week 1 against CJ Stroud. Let him know this ain't college no more.
Right.
You're in the league now. You're in the league now. This ain't college no more.
That game versus Atlanta should not have been as close as it was. I'm sorry, you got me.
I agree with that too.
And now I'm pissed.
I agree with that too. Like last year, there's a lot of games last year that shouldn't have happened last year. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Lost to the Bills. We should not have lost to the Dolphins.
It's okay.
We should not have lost to the
No. We're not sulking on this nice June night. No, we're not.
Yeah, the BET Awards is on. Blackity black.
Blackity black.
Guys, Jason, we are running out of time. So I do want to give you one final question to wrap this whole thing up. It's been a great time. I hope you guys have enjoyed. But the last thing I want to talk about, we've talked about all the Ravens offense or moves in the offseason, defense pickups, offensive pickups. Does this team have what it takes to run the table and go to the Super Bowl?
I think you get creative with the pieces that you have. I think between a dual threat tight end, because Isaiah Likely really emerged last season as well. You have a dual threat tight end of Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely, and you have fantastic wide receivers so long as they stay healthy. You get creative, and I think where there was nothing wrong with our defense besides just giving up big plays. Like, big plays has always been our fatal flaw, and that big play will turn the tide of a game so quick. I've seen it happen multiple times last season, multiple times in the season before. That's our fatal flaw. So I don't think there's a team personally that could go tick for tack with us, because at the end of the day, like, we don't want it to be a war of attrition, but we're willing to go that far if need be. You get creative with the offensive scheme. You keep playing fantastic defense. We are looking at honestly, so like I said, get creative. AFC Championship, Super Bowl team, like, realistically, because we've proven that we could beat Kansas City. Kansas City isn't the end all be all anymore. You feel me? Josh Allen folds under pressure.
That's also true.
You see what you're saying, bro?
The top, literally, and then
Don't forget Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Don't
our
forget
third string offense was keeping up. Besides that play I'm sorry.
No.
I'm getting mad again. The QB sneak. Besides that one play, our third string offense was keeping up with Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. So if I'm just taking for what we have done in the past and applying it to the future, that is this upcoming season, realistically, we don't have nobody to fear. Like,
why can't this be our year?
So the key is staying. Is that what you're saying?
I'm looking at you, strength and conditioning coach. If there is a problem, and I hope the Ravens get tagged in this video, you will be hearing from the entire city of Baltimore. They will be in Owings Mills at If I hear one ACO, I'm gonna knock on some wood. I'm gonna knock on that wood.
Oh my god.
If I hear one pulled hammy, if I hear so much as an elbow bruise, you want to see me,
Eddie. Tag the ring.
We are going oak.
No, for real. But honestly, I'm right there with you. I don't think, from evidence from last year, I don't see why we can't run the table this year. Like, there's no teams that I feel like there's no teams right now that I feel like we can't beat. Like you said, we stood toe-to-toe with the Bengals. Our third string is stood toe-to-toe with the Bengals. We beaten the Chiefs, who are seen as the top dog. Like, and I don't fear anybody in the NFC except the Eagles and Niners. So,
Oh, Lord, the Niners.
Yeah, so I mean, like, other than that,
rematch of that Super Bowl coming up.
that's gonna be crazy. That would be a crazy Super Bowl rematch. 2012. Oh my goodness.
I'd be down for it.
Beyonce don't perform again.
I would be down for it though. I would be down for it too. That'd be so fire.
I don't need Beyonce performing though and knocking the lights out again.
Yeah, we don't need
Yeah.
No more Beyonce for the Super Bowl because we almost choked that badly that year. Jeez Louise.
Okay, well, yeah, these are all great points. I agree. But it just really scares me because I feel like there are going to be injuries. Maybe not season ending, but there's always never ever year. So can we brace? Yeah, I got a wooden floor. I'll knock on it. There we go.
I got a wooden floor.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm on the porch. Overcome those minor injuries if we have them. Can guys step up if needed and not, let the season go to ruin? Because, you're going to have a injury season sometimes. A couple things happen. It's impossible for everybody not to be a little bit dinged up. Even if you're not on the injury report, you could still be dinged up a little bit. Can you play through it? Can you stay focused? The only team that I can really think of that happening was the 2021 Bengals team that came out of nowhere and went to the Super Bowl. They didn't deal with any injuries at all.
Healthy.
All the offense
Yeah, they stayed healthy. Yeah.
was still there. All their wide receivers. Joe Burrow was healthy coming off of ACL. So, yeah, I think they could do it.
Yeah.
They just
I got
need
a question. I got one question, and it's really brief.
What's up?
I promise you. Who is Dom? And I always actually no. I said it to both of y'all. There's this one cornerback, or is he? Never mind. Brandon Stevens. Oh,
Brandon
my
Stevens.
Oh,
yeah.
what about him?
Come here. I'm bringing the camera close. Brandon Stevens. I swear to God, I have watched you get burned several times.
Oh,
You think you're nice. You think you're nice. I'm tired of your penalties too.
Hey, but listen. Did you see earlier that Harbaugh was talking about moving him back to safety? Because he played.
Go back to safety, yeah.
I think he would be a lot better at safety. Because cornerback, I 100% agree, gets toasted, looks like a mad chicken with his head cut off, trying to keep up with people. He's just terrible.
He creates penalties, unnecessary penalties when he gets burned.
Parents, yep. I know what you mean. I think he has a better chance of staying if he's on a safety.
I think if he puts at safety, putting him at safety might limit those penalties. And he could be more, beneficial to the team rather than detrimental. So,
yeah,
I think Harbaugh makes that switch. We can see better results.
That's a great. I'm excited to see that because, I'm completely on board with that. He's a struggle bus. He's a ticking time bomb waiting to happen on defense if you throw deep on him. I'm sorry, Brandon Stevens, but you struggle a little bit.
A little bit. You got to see something different this year.
There's no apology.
You got to see something
And all of Baltimore season, Brandon.
Listen, there's no guy that tries his best out there, though. He's given everything he has. Even though he's barely keeping up with those receivers, he's scrapping, causing penalties. He's giving an effort out there. You can't argue that. Listen up, Marquise Brown. That's the effort you need. You need that effort.
Oh, my God.
He's trying.
Yeah.
We'll see, though. Brandon Stevens achieved.
I'll be watching every time.
Yes, we will be tuning in every week. Brandon Stevens out there trying his best.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Jeez Louise. Oh, my goodness. But all right, guys, we are running out of time. We want to thank Jason for joining us for this episode. Appreciate you, brother. Giving your input and your insights.
I feel like everybody follows me, whoever came into the live already. So, thee.jasonjones.
Give him
include his Instagram.
If you don't.
Give him a follow, please. thee.jasonjones on Instagram. That's going to wrap it up for this one, guys. Thank you again for coming to another episode of Dom and Gonz Sports Talk. We will not be back at it next week, but we will be back the week after that. So if you miss us, don't be afraid to check out our latest content. All of our episodes are on our YouTube channel and on our Instagram if you want to check us out. But that'll do it for us. I'm Dom. That's Gonz. That's Jason. We're out, guys.
Au revoir.